I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us tonight for our newscast. Get rid of the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Education. Let my client continue on as Commissioner of Education, and he'll dismiss his claims against all parties involved. That's the offer being made by Mark Deal, attorney for Dr. Freddie Evans, in the ongoing fight over attempts to have Dr. Evans removed from the post of Commissioner of Education. Gary Moreno has more.
Mr. Deal, in a letter sent to the Bermuda Public Service Commission and the Ministry of Education, urges that given what he terms the obvious and improper conduct of the permanent secretary, she be moved to another ministry, if not fired. He cites the decision by the permanent secretary, knowing she had no word from the governor or any of his representatives, and acted arbitrarily to hold staff meetings and publish not only to his colleagues, but also the media that Dr. Evans had been relieved of his responsibilities as Commissioner of Education, when that in fact was not true. And further, when the PSC issued a statement indicating Dr. Evans had not been removed as Education Commissioner, there was no retraction of previous statements as requested. That letter from the PSC, you may remember, also stated Dr. Evans was not confirmed in the post, pointing the finger of blame at the permanent secretary for, quote, this entire mess, unquote. Mr. Deal argues it is she who should be made to go and not Dr. Evans. The attorney warns the damages for defamation of his client will continue to climb the longer it takes for a retraction and an apology to be issued, as part of the conditions for the dismissal of claims by his client. Mr. Deal reiterating calls for the Public Services Commission and the Ministry of Education to issue a joint retraction and an apology over the events of last week, and finally, that Dr. Evans' legal fees be paid in full. Meanwhile, a source at the Ministry of Education reminded us that the ministry had indicated it was working with the Attorney General's chambers to establish proper protocols that ensure natural justice prevails when dealing with matters pertaining to dismissal. That assurance came following a situation similar to that of Dr. Evans in 2008, when Dr. Craig Nicolai, a senior education officer from the U.S. and was in charge of the Terra Nova testing in public schools locally, was wrongfully dismissed and took the ministry to court. That matter, however, was subsequently settled out of court. Asked whether those protocols were in fact implemented and if they were used in dealing with Dr. Evans, and if not, why not, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Education told us there would be no comment forthcoming. They also declined comment on whether any consideration would be given to the demands being made by Dr. Evans' lawyer. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news, opposition Senator Nick Kemp tonight slamming the plans by government to revise human rights legislation so that they do not overshadow immigration laws. The Human Rights Commission has cried foul, saying there was no consultation, while Home Affairs Minister Walton Brown says the proposal only ensures that the rights of Bermudians are protected. Opposition Senator Nick Kemp told Mike Sharp the government's actions are at odds with their stated policy of transparency.
Well, not only did he set up another group, he set it up after the fact. When you wholesale attack human rights, the Human Rights Act, which is a shield for the vulnerable in society, you must do that with broad consultation. You must do it with public consultation. Even the Human Rights Commission was caught out on this one. They were shot an email on Friday asking for their opinion for a decision to be made in Cabinet on Tuesday, weren't provided a draft copy of the bill. You know, it's an embarrassment. We've heard this need for bipartisan, comprehensive reform, so do it. And then let's table the alternative. Don't attack the Human Rights Act first, and then say at some point we'll do this comprehensive reform. You know, if the reform's going to address the deficiencies or the things that are going to be tweaked slightly in the Human Rights Act, fine, but let's have the solution before we create a problem.
And some good news out of the UK tonight. Premier David Burt today met with Boris Johnson, the colourful British Foreign Secretary, who has made a name in the world of international politics. The British politician's meeting was part of the Premier's tour of Europe this week, where he has already met with top tax officials from the OECD and in France. Today in London, Mr. Burt met with several British ministers to discuss a variety of issues affecting the island, including the protection of Bermuda's interests post-Brexit. Tarai Trott spoke to the Premier by phone today.
The meetings here are important, Tarai, because Bermuda has to have excellent relations with not only the United Kingdom, but also our European Union partners. reinsurance and our insurance industries in Bermuda do a lot of work with Europe, and it is important that their access is maintained and strengthened as the United Kingdom goes through the process of exiting from the European Union.
Now, you've been well received by the OECD and French officials in Paris. What has the reception been from your meetings with the British?
The meetings with the various ministers today were very positive. I just left the meeting about 15 minutes ago with the Foreign Secretary, Mr. Boris Johnson. In addition to that, we had meetings this morning with the Minister of State for Overseas Territories, and we also had a meeting with the Minister of State, the Financial Secretary, inside of the Her Majesty's Treasury. So those meetings today have been positive. The UK recognized Bermuda's progress and leadership in the world of tax compliance, in the world of making sure that we are transparent jurisdiction where to do business. And so from those matters, there are positive in affirming the work which we've done, and they will continue to make sure that in the international arena where they represent Bermuda's interests, where Bermuda does not have a seat at the table, as we are not an independent country, they recognize what Bermuda has done. They ensure that they will represent what we have done in Europe to ensure that there's nothing negative that happens to us.
Meantime, the new PLP government is optimistic they can persuade London to allow for Bermuda British passports to be printed in Bermuda. The British government removed the ability of the overseas territories to print their own passports in 2016, citing security concerns. It was an issue that came up today during the Premier's high-level meetings with UK government officials. Shirai Trott asked if the British understood the urgency of Bermuda's request.
Well, to say they understand the urgency of the case, I wouldn't go that far. The United Kingdom has a certain position, and Bermuda is taking a different position. So as my government is new, we are not going to blame what has taken place on the former government. We are going to look forward to try to find a solution. Today was our first direct meeting on this issue. I believe that progress was made. We are going to follow up to see if they can actually resolve the challenges of which we have. And then after that point in time, when they respond to us, we will see what further steps we will take. What I will say is that the meeting was positive insofar as they indicated and recognized some challenges that did exist, and they undertook to examine the situation further. So that was a positive development, and we will be following up from this side. I want to say that it's been great, the support of which we've received from the London office. Ms. Kimberly Durant and the persons working inside of her office have done a fantastic job in arranging not only the meetings in Europe, but also the meetings here in the United Kingdom to ensure that Bermuda is represented well, and our matters are certainly held and addressed at the highest levels.
Stay with us. More news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
When you shop online, the cheapest, quickest, and easiest way to bring your packages into Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
They're always willing to help. They're willing to go above and beyond. They've helped me many times with packages, to help me with invoicing and all sorts. So I love mailboxes.
Easy, convenient, and fast. The people are fantastic.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
Bermuda's only teppanyaki grill. Rediscover L'Oriental. Eat in or take out.
Looking for a challenge, new adventures, forge lifelong friendships, and earn an extra $5,000 to $6,000 a year?
Good stuff.
Be a part of a proud and honorable legacy of service. The Royal Bermuda Regiment is seeking volunteers. Let's go, guys! Call us at 238-1045 or visit bermudaregiment.bm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment, your regiment.
Welcome back. Jason Hayward, the government senator, tonight setting the record straight after Senator Nick Kemp this week expressed concern over a lack of a chairman for the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. Senator Kemp, who was removed as chairman following the election, believes political vengeance is to blame for the board's current state. But not so, says Mr. Hayward.
Well, you know, when a new government comes in, there's a natural transition period in terms of reestablishing boards. What we have is an open process in regards to allowing people to submit their names so that we can get the best candidates possible to sit on boards. And I think that's the process that the minister has engaged in. Mr. Kemp would know that in the Senate we discussed yesterday that the new board would be gazetted this month, and their first meeting is anticipated to also happen this month so that business can get on in the BEDC. There were 4 applications that were submitted that were for the board to review, so business hasn't been slowed up because 2 of those applications had to get sent back for additional information, and the other 2 applications, hopefully they are presented to the board in the October meeting when they convene.
Mm-hmm. So this matter should be settled as far as the new chairman in a matter of days, weeks?
Yes, we should see a new board gazetted soon.
This is your first time in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding the experience in there? I know for a fact a couple of weeks ago you started hitting heavy when you gave some statistics on expatriates and Bermudians, mm-hmm. and wages and all the like. How are you finding your experience in the Senate?
Well, I'm enjoying it. I believe the Senate to be a very productive forum to get legislation done and have meaningful discussion and debate. My aim while I'm there is to ensure that I highlight some of the realities that are happening, social and economic realities that the people face in Bermuda. And so you would hear me talk about things in terms of the disparity in jobs held by Bermudians and non-Bermudians, income inequality, even between Bermudians and non-Bermudians, between those on the upper social class and lower social class. You would hear me talk about unemployed and their plight and the social ills that some of our children are facing in the school system. And so those are the type of things I will continuously discuss in the Senate.
Meantime, big news tonight out of the island's tourism industry. Hotelier Paul Telford was today named the new chairman of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Jamal Simmons, the tourism minister, made the announcement today during a news conference. Mr. Telford, the current managing director of Rosewood Tuckers Point, replaces founding BTA chairman David Dodwell.
Paul Telford is currently the managing director at Rosewood Tuckers Point and has served as a director on the Bermuda Tourism Authority board since 2014. He began his hotel career at the Elbow Beach Hotel before gaining international experience working in the U.S. and Mexico, including the prestigious Four Seasons brand, before returning home to Bermuda in 2008. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my warmest thanks to the former BTA chairman, Mr. David Dodwell, for his service and leadership during the past 5 years.
Meanwhile, Mr. Telford thanking the minister and Mr. Dodwell for his contributions, pledging to continue the BTA's hand in improving tourism and jobs.
Myself, as a second-generation Bermudian hotelier, I know all too well the impact tourism has on household economics, jobs, and how tourism has become a significant part of our history and culture. We need to continue to ride the wave of positivity. We need to continue getting more visitors here. We need to continue providing unique, authentic, and valuable experiences. We want visitors to spend more money when they're here, to come back again and again, bringing family and friends.
In other news tonight, a plan to relax the ban on the importation of a weed killer containing a controversial chemical in Bermuda has been put on hold. The Minister of Public Works, Colonel David Birch, responding today to criticism leveled at the government's consideration of utilizing glyphosate products, the previously banned substance found in Roundup herbicide. Following the complaints, Colonel Birch told Jasmine Patterson government is weighing its options to deal with the problem of overgrowth.
I looked at the research and the recommendations both locally and internationally about glyphosate and applied to the minister responsible for the environment to have it lifted. I believe the scientists. Many of the people who are criticizing this decision, I take offense at the fact that they've accused me and us, the government, of willingly poisoning the country. I live here too. All of these children in this school that I've come to help today live here too. And so I take offense at the suggestion that anybody would do something deliberately to harm anyone. Having said that, I take the scientific advice that I've been given. out of all of the comments that have been made, most of them have been critical and like, we've lost our minds and all of that. None of that resonates with me because none of it offers up a solution to the problem that we face. One person has done that. Tom Watson wrote to me directly. I don't think he went to the media until after he'd written to me saying that this was a problem, blah, 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 blah. But he offered up an alternative. And so what I did and what we have done is to say, pause. We will look at the alternative and see whether that is effective or not. And he's produced some scientific evidence to support his position. And so I'm taking that on board. So where we are at the moment is pausing. But I am not going to be dictated to by people who are not scientists, who have their own agenda, who think that by accusing me of doing something negative is going to stop me from making a decision.
And turning to weather news, a beautiful Friday in store for us. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and although it's been pretty quiet here lately, we do see some changes coming. Some showers will be on the way, so some beneficial rainfall, especially as we head into early next week, as we will see a surge of tropical moisture working its way in from the south. At this point, you can see a frontal boundary to our north. It's nearly stationary, so it's not moving a whole lot right now, but as we head into the forecast for tomorrow night, that's where we will see more in the way of showers and more in the way of clouds starting to develop, and that will carry in to the first half of our weekend for Saturday with those on and off showers. But for right now, you can see quiet conditions here across the island, so temperature-wise, we're in good shape. Temperatures are in the upper 70s, humidity at 72%. We're looking at the winds out of the east-southeast between 5 and 10 knots. Waves inside the reef between 1 and 2 feet. Outside the reef, we're looking at waves between 3 and 5 feet. So overnight tonight, still quiet conditions to be had here across the island. Here in Hamilton, mainly clear skies, an overnight low of 74 degrees. We will have a blend of sun and clouds as we head into our Friday. So wrapping up the work week, things are looking very nice, but ending into our Friday evening here, that's where more of those clouds will start to slip in with that frontal boundary that will start to sag a little bit farther south. So during the day tomorrow, 79 degrees, intervals of clouds and sunshine, more clouds building in into the overnight hours, and also those showers developing as well. If you're heading out on the water, we don't have any issues to tell you about. No small craft advisories, no weather alerts. Here's a look at your tidal times. Low tide 1 coming in at 9:31 this evening. So if you are heading out on the water, make sure you are using caution, but have a great time as well. Your getaway forecast, maybe you're heading out and about, maybe to Toronto. That's where they are looking at some wet weather for tomorrow. New York City, mostly cloudy. And in the southeast, we are looking at some showers in places like Atlanta, Georgia, and also in Miami, Florida. Looking at conditions here across some of the islands, we do have a tropical wave that is impacting Barbados and also Trinidad, portions of the Windward and also the Leeward Islands, going to see an uptick in the moisture. As far as tropical development is concerned, we do have Hurricane Ophelia, but that is way out there in the central Atlantic, and that's not going to have any issues for our weather. Actually, it looks to bring some rainfall out toward places like Ireland and the UK into early next week. So let's talk about our local forecast here over the next couple of days, what we can expect. Saturday, again, more of those clouds building in by the nighttime hours. Then we do have those showers into our Saturday, but our issue with the heavier rainfall is really going to be Monday and Tuesday with that surge of tropical moisture, but keep in mind it will be a beneficial rainfall. For the latest news and weather information, you can tune into Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This spring, as you make the transition from your living room to your patio, bring a touch of class to your outdoor living space with a new patio set from Big Savings Zone. Our new line of outdoor furniture features a wide range of sectional sofas, round and rectangular dining tables, as well as matching chairs and umbrellas. Ashley's outdoor furniture is crafted for comfort and durability, boasting a state-of-the-art rust-free finish for years of enjoyment. Exclusively available at Big Savings Zone, Southside St. David's.
You can count on us. Save $2 on fresh certified Angus beef top round steak, $6.99 per pound. On the vine tomatoes, just $2.69 per pound. Only $1.09 for a 12-ounce tin of ShopRite evaporated milk. Save $1.20 on Charmin Ultra Soft toilet tissue, $4.99 for a package of 4 rolls. Save $2.60 on selected varieties of Tide laundry detergent, $11.99 for a 46-ounce bottle. All Marketplace stores open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb. Invite me to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes starting October the 16th, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 on ZBM TV 9, October 16th for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Turning to sports, World Olympian Association's chief executive finds himself in hot water after suggesting that athletes should be fitted with microchips like dogs. Earl Baisden has the details of this story and much more in tonight's sports report.
World Olympian Association Chief Executive Mike Miller sparked controversy when he made the suggestion that the use of microchipping athletes to combat doping in sport during a Westminster media forum on integrity in sports.
Speaking at the forum, Miller was quoted as saying, "Some people say we shouldn't do this to people. Well, we're a nation of dog lovers. We're prepared to chip our dogs and it doesn't seem to harm them, so why aren't we prepared to chip ourselves?" We emailed the World Olympian Association to get a response and received correspondence in the form of a statement in which the World Olympian Association Chief Executive Miller said, "It saddens me that such an important topic has been trivialized by taking out of context one comment among many made to foster debate on how best to strengthen trust in sport and drive the cheats out of sport." He goes on to say, "I made it very clear at the time that these were personal comments and not the WOA policy, and also that it was not something that has been discussed by the OA." The president of the WOA, Joe Buzo, is quoted as saying, "We will always be at the forefront of anti-doping initiatives and welcome open and constructive debate on the best way to achieve doping and cheating-free sport." However, the views expressed recently by our Chief Executive Miller were of a personal nature, as Mike has made it clear, and do not represent the WOA policy. Milan Butterfield and his Walsall T-Bigs made their return to competitive action in the development squad's latest Central Reserve League Cup game against Doncaster Rovers. Butterfield was in the starting lineup but could not prevent Walsall from falling 4-0. Work Academy continued their winning ways in the pool as they won the Bermuda School Sports Federation Primary School Swimming Championships at the National Sports Center yesterday. Work Academy won comfortably with a total of 242 points overall. Salters Grammar School finished second on 168, followed closely by Summersfield Academy with 164. Work Academy came out on top in the boys division with 136 points, followed by Salters on 89 and Summersfield Academy on 80. Bermuda High School won the girls division with 109 points. Warwick Academy were second, 3 points back, with Summersfield finishing in third with 84 points. Brothers Matthew and John Lejour have finished their water ramping in Steamboat and are ready to hit the snow for freestyle skiing. The Lejours are off to Switzerland for their next training block. Matthew Lejour will be looking to meet the qualifying standard for the Winter Olympics as soon as possible. Patrick Nisbet competed in the Brandt Cup in Belgium. Nisbet and his new horse, Jawar de Senbach Z, finished first, taking the cup. Only one game was on tap in the latest round of the Bermuda Basketball Association Elite City League inside the Summerfield Academy Gymnasium last evening that saw the Hornets defeat the Warriors 77-73. Alex Butterfield led the Hornets to victory with 23 points. He also had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Kirby Inlay scored a game-high 26 points for the Warriors.
The Bermuda Hockey Academy Islanders 2 team are currently 5th in the Northeast Field Hockey Association's Men's League in New York. The Islanders 2 played 2 games in their latest round of matches. They will get field goals off the sticks of Donovan Simmons, Nathan Simons, and Zachariah Marnus, as well as a penalty corner goal from Hajima Bean as they defeated the Islanders 1 team 4-3. In their second match, the Islanders 2 would go down 9-0 to Greenwich, number 1 team. In Commercial League bowling action at the Work Lanes, it saw Sweet Life defeat the Pin Pushers 3-1. Sunset defeated the BPS Blue Lanterns 3-1, while the Superstars got by the Spinners 3-1. Cool Runnings defeated We Do It Big 3-1, and the games between the Braves and Secret Weapons, as well as BTC and the 10-Pin Mafia, both ended 2-2. In Second Spring Senior Bowling League action at the Work Lanes, it saw the Last Pin defeat the Pin Splitters 3-1. The Newcomers went down 3-1 to the Islanders, while the Drifters defeated the Blue Angels 3-1. Bowling Kickin' went down 3-1 to the last minutes. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate all the craftsmanship we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, crafting the world's finest bed.
Furniture Walk, Bermuda's home of top mattress brands, Stearns & Foster, Therapeutic, and Restonic. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years. Call 292-5209.
FIFA World Cup 2018 is the showcase of the world's most popular sport, and Bermuda Broadcasting Company will deliver all 64 games in high definition. This is a great opportunity to present your ad during the most prestigious sporting event. For more information, email sales@bermudabroadcasting.com.
Michaela, and this is Taking Off. The new airport redevelopment project includes a new taxiway, a new aircraft parking apron, a refurbished cargo facility, and we'll talk more about those, but this week I'm going to take you through the details of the interior of the new terminal. The ground floor will be approximately 182,000 square feet and will house the new departures hall where passengers check in, baggage and passenger screening, and the arrivals concourse with the Bermuda Immigration Customs area, retail facilities, and restrooms. The second floor will be approximately 127,000 square feet with airy and spacious seating areas, business class lounges, retail shops, and dining areas with great views. One of the biggest changes will be passenger bridges. Currently, every time you fly, you have to board or deplane on the tarmac, whether it's warm and sunny or cold and rainy. At the new terminal, you won't have to do any of that. That's right, passenger bridges will be in place to take departing passengers to the airplanes and arriving passengers to the arrivals concourse. Next time, we'll take a look at the exterior of the new terminal.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. We now join the West Indian Association Telethon for Hurricane Relief. Give from the Heart, brought to you by Bermuda Broadcasting on ZFB TV 7. The number to call to donate to this incredibly worthy cause is 292-5820. Please stay tuned.